Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my show where I offer misguided advice about video games. Game of choice, Hearthstone. Excuse me, wow. I had something in my throat. Anyways, my name is Meerkat, welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be talking about a Paladin deck called the Spark Battlemaster deck. I found it on hearthpwn.com, HEARTHPWN.com. If you haven't been to that website, highly recommend you check it out. As I've mentioned before in other videos, it's where I get a lot of my decks from that I showcase, and they have the top 6 decks of the week up on the first on the homepage. So once you get there right away, you'll see some decks that you can pick from, and they've got pretty much every deck under the sun. So highly recommend you check out hearthpwn.com if you haven't already. Hopping into the deck list here, we got 2 Zombie Chows for early aggression, 2 Equalities, 2 Knife Jugglers, 2 Shielded Minibots, 2 Muster for Battles, 2 Aldo Peacekeepers, 1 Big Game Hunter for Dr. Boom, which everybody runs in their mother these days, 2 well, obviously for Giants, and then anything else that does 7 or more attack damage. Anyways, going on 2 Truesilver Champions, I can never pronounce that quickly, 2 Consecrations, 2 Piloted Shredders, 1 Bolvar Fordragon, butchering that, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly, 1 Harrison Jones, 2 Quartermasters, 2 Sludge Belchers, 1 Avenging Wrath, 1 Black Knight, a Dr. Boom, 1 Lay on Hands, and 1 Tirion Fordring. Let's go ahead and hop out of here and go straight into a match, shall we? So, with this deck, it kind of relies on you getting quality trades. So it's not necessarily about going straight for face. It's not necessarily about clearing everything on the board. It's basically about getting the most value that you can out of your minions. Good lord, I've got some heartburn right now, I apologize. Anyways, so you basically just want to kind of read the board. If it makes sense for you to trade out a minion, then trade out the minion. If it makes sense for you to ignore attack into your opponent, then do that. We are playing against a Shaman, so I'm going to be holding on to the Harrison Jones because he most likely will have a weapon around the time I have to play him. Dr. Boom, very good card indeed. I don't think it's appropriate to hold on to him though. Lay on Hands, I'm not going to hold on to. Consecration, I'll go ahead and keep in my hand for now. Okay, at least we got 1 cheaper minion. We do have a Shielded Minibot, so we could play him turn 1 with a coin, which I think is what we probably want to do. Or we could drop down the Knife Juggler. Let's go ahead and just drop down the Shielded Minibot for now. He's going to have to do 2 things to get rid of it, or he's going to have to burn a silence card on that, which I'm totally fine with him doing. One thing with your Knife Juggler, don't be so eager to use it right away. Knife Juggler is a really good card to combo with Muster for Battle and with Equality and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just trade into him. Let's go ahead and let's drop down a Reinforce. I want to hold on to my Knife Juggler. Like I said, it could be useful if you want to be aggressive early in the game. This type of deck though has a lot. It's a very kind of mid-rangey to late game type of deck anyway, so you don't really, there's really no point in getting super aggressive right up front because you're gonna lose too much steam, I think, if you try to be too aggressive up front. You really want to be a little bit more on the controlling side with this type of deck. Okay, let's go ahead and just get rid of that guy again. So again, I'm just getting rid of all of his minions on the board. Go ahead and end the turn. If he drops down a Lightning Storm to get rid of these 2 Reinforce and pop the Divine Shield, that'll be really good value for us, because it's kind of a waste on his part. Looks like he's just continuing to mitigate taking damage by giving me a distraction with my Shielded Minibot. Really surprised he hasn't played anything else except for Totem so far. Okay, well, not a big deal. I'm going to drop down the Piloted Shredder. And so now we've got some board control. He does have 8 cards in his hand, so he's got some answers. He might be dropping down a Totem and a Lightning Storm at this point, because I've got a little bit more value on the board. It'd be a better trade for him, although it's still not super beneficial for him. There is the Totem. Okay, he's going to do an Earth Shock and get rid of that guy. And then there comes... oh, Fork Lightning. That's really interesting. It's too bad for him, though. Hit the 2 targets that he didn't want to have hit. Okay. So, what do we want to do here? I'm going to just go ahead and drop down a Sludge Belcher. Let's go ahead and attack into that. If it was a healing totem, or a 1 damage totem, Flame Tongue, or whatever it's called, I would have ignored it. But because that was a Wrath of Air totem with the spell damage. I'm kind of worried. I don't want him to do extra damage with the spells on these two guys. Okay, what do we got? If he drops a Doomhammer, he is so screwed. Harrison Jones, oof, that's a good trade. I could drop down the Black Knight. Really inefficient trade, though, for something so cheap. Let me think here. Let's go ahead and just drop down the Shielded Minibot. No need for us to get crazy with doing... dropping down a Knife Juggler. No need to drop an Avenging Wrath right now. Avenging Wrath pairs up really well with Inequality. Super, super duper effective combo. So, right now we're doing pretty good. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and trade here. Go ahead and drop down another Reinforce. Again, I'm still picky about this Knife Juggler. We're doing relatively well. I'm not too worried he's going to be doing a bunch of damage to me right now. I could drop down the Avenging Wrath, which would bring him down to 12 hit points. But he's... I'm not really familiar with what type of deck he's playing. He's not playing a one-turn kill deck, not that I'm aware of. I do have the Consecration. Actually, this might make sense. Let's go ahead and apply some pressure, try to pull out some minions, do that. The reason why I'm doing this is because it'll be 8 damage straight to the face, giving him more pressure, and then I've got Consecration and Inequality paired up with my Sorcerer's Apprentice, so I'll get some good value with that. If he's got a couple of Molten Giants, drops him right now, then that would be beautiful because we'll be able to take him out in one turn. Okay, pulling out the Argent Commander. Wow. Okay. So I think it's pretty clear here. I think we should have a game here. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not enough. Am I miscounting here? I might be miscounting.
Let me think.
I can't tell. What do I'm not even familiar with this type of deck that he's playing. I don't even know what the right move is. We're smashing him at the moment. I don't want to drop Consecration yet, just on the off chance that he does have more, like if he has Molten Giants. So let's just play on the safe side here. Let's drop down a Reinforce. Let's drop down a Quartermaster. I'm going to get rid of that guy. I'm going to trade out the Reinforced guy. Attack into him. Just on the off chance that he does have a couple of Molten Giants that he's stashing in his hand there. This turn we'll definitely be able to kill him if he doesn't Lightning Storm. Okay, Feral Spirit. No big deal. Flame Tongue Totem, still not a big deal. What do we got? Chillwind Yeti, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we have won this match, although I do feel a little bad because it was not really much of a match at all. Let's go ahead and just drop down a second Consecration for good measure. And there goes the game. Okay. Flawless victory, as they say in Mortal Kombat, when you don't take any damage from your opponent. Well, there you go. There was the Spark Battlemaster deck. I feel kind of guilty because that guy was just way too easy. I don't know what he was playing, but in the interest of keeping this video relatively short, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the deck here now that I've played one match. So a couple of things to keep in mind with this deck. Quality is your super duper awesome board removal card. It's really cheap, makes everything cost 1 health, or give everything 1 health, and it works really well with your Knife Juggler, it works really well with your Muster for Battle, it works extremely well with Avenging Wrath, and it works just almost as well with your Consecration. Yeah, so that's pretty much, you've got a lot of answers for board removal. Knife Juggler pairs up really, really well with Muster for Battle, and Muster for Battle pairs up really, really well with your, where is it? Quartermaster. Black Knight is efficient, a very effective trade against taunt cards like a Sludge Belcher or some other type of card that's got some taunt. Harrison Jones, I feel like this is a well-placed card in this deck because a lot of hunters, warriors, rogues, and shamans, not so much on the shamans, but the other three classes are definitely playing a lot of weapons. Same with Paladin. Paladin these days, well, always. Paladins have always ran a Truesilver Champion, usually. So I feel like Harrison Jones is a pretty good choice here, especially given the fact that it's the only other card draw that you have aside from Lay on Hands. Dr. Boom, who doesn't love Dr. Boom? I'm worried they're going to nerf it eventually because it's such an overplayed, overpowered type of card. Really, really, really good card to play on turn 7. Tirion Fordring is also an awesome card. A lot of Paladins play it because you get a 5/3 once he dies. He's got Divine Shield and Taunt, so amazing card to play. Zombie Chow is purely here for early aggressive removal. So if you're playing against a Zulok, you want to try to get that card as fast as you can. Or any other type of aggressive type of opponent. Aldo Peacekeeper is a really good card to have. You don't have the beast that will destroy a minion that has 2 attack damage or less, so you don't have that card in this deck, which pairs up really well with the Aldor Peacekeeper. But Aldor Peacekeeper is more of a kind of just continue to put minions out on the board and just reduce the threat of a really super scary attack damage card. And the Piloted Shredder is just kind of to keep things moving along in the middle of the game. It's a really good, annoying card. It's kind of what they call a sticky card, where you throw something down and your opponent tries to get rid of it, but then you get something else summoned right behind it. And Bolvar Fordragon is a really great card. If you have a Muster for Battle and you continue to throw out Silverhand Recruits, your ability in the beginning of the game while you have this guy in your hand, I've gotten this guy up to 20-25 attack damage in the past. So really fun card to have. And that's pretty much it. So leave a comment in the comments below if you have any suggestions. Let me know if there's any deck that you'd like me to showcase. I will definitely take that in mind and do a deck spotlight for you. And yeah, until next time, my name is Meerkat.